Hey guys, what's going on? So this is a positive video. So if you came here for a negative video, that was yesterday, where I talk about 33.0 and my problem with the optics of the developers. It is the previous video that is not this one. And I felt like I was really negative in that one, and I would like to be positive in this one. So this is insane. This is absolute insanity. I was like, as soon as I had this game, I was like, I know I'm gonna win. And like, I was like screenshotting this. I must have done like 7 or 8 screenshots because it kept getting the status of my board kept getting better and better. And this was the final state of my board. We're obviously playing Treant. And then we're obviously playing Gadget. The amount of gold tiles on this board is ridiculous. I think, I was missing 2 spots. I was missing that spot, and I was missing that spot. And I have everything else. Now, I'm gonna show you, like, Treant is really good right now, obviously because of the modifier. And if you don't understand how the modifier works, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? You just gotta read. But so essentially it's the friends modifier in Random League, where these 3 spots in the middle have the ability to level up. Now, the Random League ones are the best ones because you don't have to work at all. You just kind of have to have 3 units there, and then one of them will randomly upgrade. You can manipulate that in Random League, which is really fun, especially if you have Gunslinger. You can move something into those 3 squares. And then move everything out, or eat scrapper everything out, and then only the one thing will just constantly get upgraded. And so you can manipulate it like that. You can theoretically manipulate this, but you kind of don't want to, because the way that the modifier works in regular game is so the current one is for Forest and Dark faction. And so if you have a Forest or Dark faction only in those 3 squares. So like, for example, in a Treant deck, you can't put a Kobold in there because that's technogenic and it only upgrades Forest or Dark. And if you put a Forest or Dark into those 3 center squares, what will happen is they each have a percentage chance to upgrade. It's not one or it's not, like all 3 or nothing. Each of them has the ability to upgrade through a percentage chance, and they're all separate. So 1 could get upgraded, all 3 could get upgraded, 2 could get upgraded, none could get upgraded. And that's how it works. Every time you use your hero power, 1 of them or 2 of them or 3 of them or none of them get upgraded. And that's why it's obviously very good for a Treant deck. Now, originally when I played this deck, or when I first started this, I was obviously upgrading my my Dark Inquisitor, because I was thinking Dark faction. I was upgrading my Gunslinger. So I knew that I wanted to upgrade the Gunslinger because the Gunslinger is the most important thing to upgrade. You want that thing always at level 7. But then the other 2 spots I was putting in Trappers, because then, if my Gunslinger ranked down, then the Trappers could obviously, keep me afloat if I don't catch Scrapper hits. But now that they've changed Scrapper, you don't really need it. You should be able to catch every single Scrapper hit whenever you want to. So now, the thing that I put into the center are just 2 Treants, and then a Gunslinger. Now, I do want to talk about Gunslinger for a second. If you don't know, when you move a Gunslinger, let's say you're moving it from right here to right here, right? When you move a Gunslinger, it has the ability to affect everything around it. So that includes all of this. It's going to give the 15% speed boost to everything around it. If you move a Gunslinger from here to here, it's going to give everything right there around it. So what that basically means is that if you move a Gunslinger from here to here, it's going to grant all of this the 15% bonus. And then if you move it back to the original spot, it's going to give all of this a bonus. That is the hack for Gunslinger. If you decide to do the two, if you decide to jump it between those two spots, you're basically covering the entire field with a plus 15% attack speed bonus. Obviously, with Treant, the more times you can attack, the more times your what is it? Mycelium Masters, or no, Mycelium Masters is the original. What's the thing called? What's the thing? You know the thing. You know the thing. I don't know the thing. The mushroom nausea. That's what it was. Mushroom nausea activates every 15th Treant attack. So the more that you can attack, the more times you will get to that 15th attack. And when you get to that 15th attack, you're dealing 300% damage. That's how that works. Mushroom nausea. Yeah, so every 15th time, every 15th attack, it gets you get a 300% damage modifier on that specific attack. So you want to attack as fast as you can. Gadget is also going to help you with this, obviously. Gadget gold tiles is also going to help you with that, obviously. And so my original strategy for this deck was to put 2 Treants in the center squares, always have a Dark Inquisitor in the center square when I use my mana activation. And then I was originally, I was doing like Treants here, and then that's your, or I guess you would, one of those would be a Dark Inquisitor square. And then if like all of the Treants were here, I can do this better. If all of the Treants were here, and you have your I keep saying Dark Inquisitor because I keep thinking dark. When you have your Gunslinger here, if you just move it to the center, it's going to give your entire thing a bonus. What I found was that as I get more and more gold tiles, I can actually just abuse moving the Gunslinger from here to here, and then just giving my entire field a bonus. So if I get some random, gold tile right here, some random gold tile right here, some random gold tile right here or right here, then I can just utilize the entire field as the game progresses. The other thing about this is that when you have your 2 Treants right here, I try to get my 2 Treants in the middle to as quickly to 4 as I possibly can. I don't necessarily want to sacrifice my other Treants to them, but if I happen to manage to get an extra Treant over here, and I start feeding that, and then it becomes like a level 2, right? And then I can utilize that Treant and give it to this one, or give it to one in the center. I will then start doing that. I always try to get my Gunslinger to a 7. You always want to leave it in the center so that you can get you can abuse the friends modifier. But essentially, if you get your 2 Treants in the center to a level 4, even if all of your other Treants are not level 4s yet, and then you keep using your friend's modifier and you keep using your hero power, and they keep leveling up, when your other Treants eventually get to level 4s, they obtain the bonuses of those 2 Treants as soon as they get to level 4, and your damage just skyrockets. There was an idea that, if I had a level 4 right here and a level 4 right here and like a level 2 and a level 3 right here, I would switch them out so that these could be level 4s. I don't think that's the good strategy. I think the strategy is just to get the two in the center to 4s, and then just keep using the hero power to get stacks on them, so that when your other ones become 4s, you get the bonus that you've been working on the entire game. I think that's the better strategy. And so what this game eventually turns into, which is just insane, is this. It just turns into this. At this point, what ends up happening over the course of the game is, obviously I start using these gold tiles. But then what ends up happening is in this center square, I have everybody. So I can very easily just switch a gunslinger into the center as opposed to doing these double switches and then having them, you know, like spread out. Simply switching into the center just becomes easier. If you don't get this amount of gold tiles in the center, then you can just, you know, like use this one over here, use this one over here, use this one over here, use this one over here. And then in terms of your trappers, I do like having 2 trappers. You obviously have to have the one space for the kobold. And then your other 2 squares you just want empty. And then you have the 1 square for your singular scrapper. And then you have obviously the kobold squares as extra squares for your scrapper. But that's basically it. I'm just gonna let this play out. And this is all to say that I love Treant. If you don't already know, my current strategy right now in terms of where I want my account to go is I just want to reincarnate 3 of Treant. I already have all the pieces to reincarnate an enchant sword, a Tesla, and a Banshee. I already have everything. I'm pretty sure I already have everything. Enchant sword, I have the 3. Tesla, I have the 3, and then Banshee, I have the 3. So whenever I can, obviously my first one is going to be, my first reincarnation is going to be for the enchant sword. I already have the reincarnation on my Treant, but I don't have the reincarnation for my enchant sword, at which point then I'll have Parasite. And then my next thing will be to reincarnate it to a 2, and then it'll be to get a Tesla. Reincarnate a Tesla, and then it'll be reincarnate this to a 3, and then get a Banshee. And then in terms of like in the future beyond that, I am like farming for a trapper. I am farming for a scrapper, and Gunslinger's eventually going to get talents. Actually, before the scrapper and the trapper, I'm probably going to reincarnate a summoner. Because I have reincarnation 1 on my kobold, and so all I need is the summoner, and I think I already have the stuff for the summoner as well. I just need 1 million celestial shards for all of this, and celestial shards are incredibly difficult. But that's my future. I'm obviously not trying to chase the newest event unit. Twins, Twilight Ranger, Frankenstein. I'm actually really close to a 15 bard, which is insane. And you know what's funny is I'm actually only farming this bard so that I can get orbs to upgrade this monk, or orbs to upgrade this minotaur, or orbs to eventually upgrade this clock of power. That's literally the only reason why I'm doing it. I'm not specifically trying to make a bard deck. I just really want to upgrade this monk to 15 for free, or to upgrade this, minotaur for free. That's honestly why I've been doing this. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just gonna play this match, and yeah, like I would highly recommend Treant. There we go. I would highly recommend Treant. I am playing against a level 61 Mari. This is his equipment, and his Gunslinger is an 11, and his Kobold is a 9. So it's not the best deck. And then his crit is 4869. If anything, this video is really just play Banshee. You should probably play Banshee, because somebody that has a 4800 crit had the ability to withstand this amount of pressure. I start doing like 80 billion damage. I started sending him like 80 billion like phantoms. This gets really crazy really fast. Banshee is the perfect deck to go up against with Treant. The problem with Treant is just getting to level 4. Once you get to level 4, like, your damage skyrockets. Any merge rank before that, your damage is terrible. And so you get really punished when people have the ability to ramp really fast. Genie comes to mind, obviously. twins, you know, just every like meta event unit right now. Even Twilight Ranger is pretty good, but like Treant is such a setup deck that it, like, until you get to 4, you get your damage is really bad, and you have the ability to start getting like bedlammed level, level wave 3. And when that starts happening, because you don't have the damage that the genie is scaling at or something, that's when you start dying. But Banshee doesn't necessarily do a lot of damage initially. It normally just withstands a lot of damage, and so it's like the perfect deck to go against to showcase this deck. But anyway, enjoy this game, and I will see you next video. If you notice, I am actually building 8 Treants. And there's an idea that if you have just a large quantity of Treants on the board, all of your level 4s are gaining all of the stack damage that all of them are getting. So even if the only amount of stacks that you can get per mana activation is 7, because obviously it only goes, your merge ranks only go to 7, your all of the Treants on your board, like let's say you had 12 Treants, even though you're only getting 7 stacks per activation, you're still getting all of that damage from all of your Treants. And so there's an idea that you could build more than just the 7. It takes so long to get one to level 7. And part of it is board space as well, but I think that you can do this like grid of 8. Especially with how quickly you have the ability to upgrade a gunslinger right now because of both catching scrapper hits and the friends modifier. You're getting almost double activations. Whenever you get those double activations where you're getting both, you're getting like the friends modifier activation, you're getting a scrapper hit, it feels so good. It doesn't happen all the time, like right there it didn't happen. But when it does, like it feels so good. And then you like catch a thing. It's crazy. I'm tempted to try using waste free and successful shift, because then you'll be able to get even more scrapper hits, and you can catch even more and upgrade your gunslinger even faster. But then you lose out on the what's it called? You lose out on the 30% damage, or what is it? The first ability, the 20% damage, the 20% flat damage for 10 seconds. And I don't know if that's all that much, but it is something. I don't know, it's something to think about. I'm constantly like trying to figure out different. I'm constantly trying to do different things with this deck. I did an entire Treant guide. You could, if you're really interested in Treant, you should go watch that. But like as modifiers happen and as things happen in the game, I'm constantly trying to modify this deck, and forever now. I'm pretty sure like unless they come out with a cooler like Forest Faction unit, I'm just gonna go all in on Treant. That was always the strategy that we always said to new people. It was to it's to get one deck to 15. Just max out one deck. And even though all my decks are maxed, I found myself like switching between a lot of decks because I have so many max units. Sometimes I'll play Banshee, and sometimes I'll play Genie, and then sometimes I'll play this. And I was missing, like, the reason why I find that I lose at the crit level that I am when I should be maybe winning more games than I am, is that I don't have a max deck anymore. I was like, I don't know, I just realized that I was like, none of this is maxed. Like, you could have a Reincarnation 3 Treant. You could have a Reincarnation 3 Kobold with all the abilities. You could Reincarnate 3 a Scrapper and Reincarnate 3 a Trapper. You're like, this singular deck could be much better. And I'm like, why am I focusing on upgrading all these random things? Like, why am I trying to upgrade a Bard? Like, right now, all I need are Celestial Shards. But I'm saying, like, the reason why I switched and why I now have like 3 Enchant Swords and 3 Summoners and 3 Teslas and 3 Banshees. I switched my entire game plan maybe like 2 months ago, and I realized, like, why am I not trying to max out one deck like we tell everybody to? But yeah, that's gonna be my new plan. See, right here I'm using the Treant in the corner, and so I'm going for the where's my thing? Where's my brush? I have this Treant in the corner, and so right now I am trying to do double switches in the center. And at some point I just realized it would just be more efficient to just have everything in this box. Like, I have this Treant over here, I have this Treant over here, and so then when I do double activations, or when I do double switches, it's still giving them the bonus. It's giving everything the bonus. But I was just like, I think it was probably whenever I get the 2 gold tiles in the center, and I'm just like, I have so much in the center, I'm just gonna use the center. It's just easier. Banshee is so resilient. It just has the ability to like soak up so much damage. I think he gave me like 150 billion damage and I gave him like 300 billion damage like by the end of this game. That's not even a double switch, and I gave him an 8 billion. That's when I get another gold tile in the center. I just have like infinite gold center tiles. You said a 15 billion damage. Give a switch here and 65 billion damage. This is why I play this game. Like, I don't win everything, but like sometimes this game can be really fun. Like when you have the ability to have like the time to get to this stage of the game where you've had so many gadget activations that you're getting this many gold tiles, it's crazy. And it feels really fun. It feels like you're doing something. I have 107 cobalt stacks. Once you get to 100, that's pretty much the max. It's not the max, and you can get incremental damage after 100. But once you get to 100, that's pretty much it. You're not getting all that much damage beyond that. Like that's the majority of your damage. Which is ironic because that's when you get the diamond mine and you get extra cobalt stacks whenever your cobalt goes into the diamond mine. And so at this point, it's just bonus. And there's my other gold tile. I think this is when when I'm just like, you know what, I can just move something in. When you do a switch, by the way, always do double switches. If you do a single switch, it takes the same amount of time, for you to regain the switch again. And so if you just do a double switch, you're giving more of the board. You're giving more of the board a speed boost. And there's no real reason to hold onto the other one. Because if you are gonna hold, then you just have to hold. You can't just it takes the same amount of time once you switch. What is the amount of time? You have 6 seconds. So if you do a double switch, if you switch and then switch again, you have to wait 6 seconds. If you switch, wait 3 seconds, and then switch again, now you have to wait 6 seconds, which means that you've wasted a total of 9 seconds. So there's no real reason to single switch and then just not do anything and then single switch again, because at that point, just wait the full 6 seconds and then you'll be able to double switch again. That's just a minor thing. But yeah, like I would highly recommend playing Treant. It's really good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless it isn't. Unless that's not the end of this video. Because that's where most people would end this video. You know, play Treant. It's so good. Use this strategy. It'll never lose. This is all you need. Just play this deck. You do this thing. You'll never lose. You couldn't lose against anybody. This is the ultimate strategy. Look at me. I'm a YouTuber. I play this game all the time. Listen to my advice. I get beat so badly here. It's real bad. You know why? Because this game is pay to win. The greedy developers. That's all they care about. All they care about is money. And Banshee is so overpowered, and they need to nerf Banshee, or they need to buff Treant. And I'm so mad about this dumb game, and it's so stupid. You know, the point of this video, by the way, thank you for clicking on it. Thank you for staying for this long. The point of this video is to show you that whatever a YouTuber wants the narrative to be, they can make it that narrative. They can just say, they can show you a match where they win with a deck, and then you watch that video and you're like, oh wow, I'll use this strategy and I'll win. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Sometimes you could play against somebody with a very similar deck. He has the good version of the deck. He has like the maxed out version, and I think he has equivalent crit to me. He also has a 92 Mari. He doesn't have the item, and he's basically using the same equipment. And yeah, that's the difference between having a level 9 Kobold and having a level 15 Kobold, and having a level 12 Gunslinger and having a level 15 Gunslinger, and having that much more crit. Now, is this to say play Banshee, it'll beat Treant? Maybe sometimes it does, and maybe sometimes it doesn't. But like, try to not give too much stock into any YouTuber saying play this insane deck, it wins all the time. Or use this strategy, it's foolproof, it never loses. Because anytime I ever do a video about a singular strategy, sometimes I'll leave that video and I try it out and then I lose. And it's because no deck is foolproof, no matter how much you think you're probably gonna win. I obviously thought that I was probably gonna win this, and I don't want to say I died a lag, but it's not your computer, it's not your phone, it's not your internet. The end of this game starts lagging super hard, because I'm just doing I'm attacking so fast. There's a point in this game where I think I lost connection, and so there will be a point where I'm just not doing anything, and that's the point where I lost connection. The game will play as normal because it's a replay, but I definitely lost connection during this game, and then the end of this game, it starts lagging really hard. And I just, at a certain point, it's really hard to like move things when it starts doing that. And I'm not going to say that that's why I lost, because it's not. But, you know, some strategies that you do, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And you could just, your goal is to replicate it every single time. And sometimes you just lose. And if you watch a YouTuber talk about like, or showcase a deck and they win against, they take like a Banshee deck and they win against Bard or whatever, you can use the strategy, but never assume that if you use the strategy and you do the exact thing, that you will win all the time. Because I promise you that whoever is showcasing the deck, they don't win all the time. Sometimes they lose. And, sometimes things just happen. And this is an example of that. I'm doing the same exact thing that I did in the last video, against just a better version of the other deck. Not a much better version. It's not like, Banshee with a Zeus or something. But yeah, like, this guy is just like pumping out so much damage. And at the end, there's just so many units on the field because of the Mari is really how a Banshee deck works. It doesn't necessarily work in damage, although right now he's out damaging me, which is crazy. But it doesn't necessarily win because of damage. It wins because of the Mari ability and being able to give your opponent not only beefier monsters towards the end of the game, but speedier monsters, to where like so many monsters are coming out of the gate and they're all just running even without like a speed monster, and they basically just overwhelm you like that. They also win because they're able to negate boss activations, and so late game you start getting more and more tribunaled, you start getting dark priested, you start getting bedlammed, and they have the ability to negate the activation for a lot longer, and so they're not immediately getting that effect. And as the bosses progress over the course of the game, being able to negate a boss ability for that long is so important, to where you have to start killing really high level bosses, not because they're sending you high level bosses, but because the game has just progressed so late that you're just getting giant bosses and you have to kill them instantly, and you just start not being able to. And the amount of monsters that they're sending you, that's how it wins. There's an idea that you can run a Grimoire instead of a crit bow, but those are really the only two options for Banshee. And I've seen people run a Grimoire, which seems really funny. I'm trying to upgrade one right now. Just the one. I have one on set on Dark Faction anyway. And so I only need the one. I'm not trying to mythic rare that, or mythic item it. I have so many other things that I want to mythic item. But I do have the one. But yeah, just understand that any YouTube video you ever watch, they're trying to create a narrative, and sometimes that narrative isn't completely true all the time. I'll catch you guys next video. Bye.